You're currently in season 5 of the show, which is fantastic. How many more seasons do you think the show can keep going for?
I think the show is going to go on for as long as the ladies, and Abby and the girls want to continue doing it. I think they're still having fun, and I think that because of their notoriety, they're able to go to places like Australia and do meet and greets and make some money and sell some t-shirts and some merchandising, and I think they do very well at that. So I think they may stay around for another season.
Now, I've met Abby Lee Miller, and she's a wonderful lady, but I heard that originally she actually wasn't considered to be part of the show. Is that true?
No, I don't think that's true. Look, in the beginning, the idea actually came to us from some of the moms, because we were looking to explore the mother-daughter relationship. Because I'd done a show years ago called Bridezillas, which was a very, very big hit show that was on the air for 9 or 10 years. So when I went to Lifetime, this current group of people who took over Lifetime, I sat down with a woman named Gina McCarthy, a great friend of mine that we did Bridezillas together. She was an executive at Lifetime and is now at FYI. And she said, I want you to come up with something that explores that mother-daughter relationship. Not Bridezillas, but what else do you have that you could think of that explores the relationship between the mother and the daughter? So I sat around with my team and we thought, wow, what do mothers and daughters do together? Dance class. You thought, at least every mom takes her daughter to dance class once or twice, at least, to see if it clicks. Yeah. And for many of them, when it does, you go, that's an amazing activity that mothers do with their daughters, and the girls, learn poise and they become young ladies. And so we started looking in that world, and there was the co-creator of the show, a guy named John Corella, who is a competition coach like Abby is, and he knew Abby. And so he kept saying to us, you have to meet this woman Abby and her class. When we started looking, it was the moms, that we originally put on tape, but it was undeniable.
Right.
Undeniable that Abby was a big
So she was waiting in the wings.
Well, she wasn't waiting in the wings. She was obvious. It was obvious when you saw her teach and you saw her teaching methods that she was a very, big character that you just couldn't stop watching.
Sure. People often ask how much of reality TV is real. What would your answer be to that?
Well, look, I don't know how completely real anyone is when you have a camera pointed at you. Like, how real am I right now? Is this some version?
Real.
Or is this a version of me?
Sure.
It's probably a heightened version of me that if you turn the camera off, I'm probably not this animated to talk to. So I think the same thing exists with the cast. But that being said, all the things that happen on the show are completely real because we have that competition. Right? So every week it's really sort of the same thing over and over again. They show up, they're put into an order of who gets a solo and who's in the group number, which immediately sets up the stakes, and they begin to rehearse. They go to a competition, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, and that really sets up the drama and the story for the next episode. So because we have those tent poles built in there, it really doesn't allow us to deviate too far from what it is that's really going on with them.
Yeah.
And the moms are really competitive. They are.
And so is there much improvising along the way, or you just sort of take and film what you can and then it's editing later that defines the storyline?
Absolutely. I mean, look, there's a lot of story and a lot of things that happen that we don't use because we simply don't have time to use.
Sure.
But we try to stick with the stories that have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
Because those are the ones that you can follow in an hour program. It's 44 minutes of content. And then there are some things that happen that don't really make a full story that we just don't use. So we film with them for 6 days, and then we edit it down to like 44 minutes worth of program.
Wow.
A lot of the rehearsals we don't cover because it's just not that interesting to watch.
Sure.